Yeah.
Construction industry, pipeliners, whatever industry that you're in, it's a family.
Yeah.
And if your solution does not revolve around family, and everyone's family is different, and everyone's house is different, if your solution doesn't involve that, forget about it. You know?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I
And that's
really
just
want
where that's where I'm at with it too. I don't care. I don't care what fancy words you want to use and what I just don't care. My only concern is the people who are having a hard time. However, I need to get to them and to let them know I'm here. I don't care about the rest of it. I don't care about all the layers. I don't care about all the organizations. I don't care about any of that. I just want to get to them, you know, and when I do have conversations with the people who are struggling, and when they really open up, I'm just like, this is a huge problem. This is a really big problem. Like these are big issues. And
But on top of that, those big issues, it's a big issue even personified now because of the world that we're currently living in.
Yeah, it's just gotten worse. Yeah. And to be using the same approaches, if you're using any approach at all now in 2021, you know, those hotlines are so overran by calls, you'll be lucky to get any help from hotlines or to get into those programs that they've always used. It's even harder now.
Those hotlines, just so everyone's aware, if you're not aware, they're for everyone that's struggling.
Yeah. Yes.
From every walk of life, from, you know, teenagers.
Which they're great, and they're just doing everything they can right now. I mean, they would just literally be in
I don't want to
triage mode like all the time, all day long. They'd just be trying to stop the bleeding. So I get like those hotlines are fantastic, but now is the time where you have to really start paying attention to this, because there's been a mental health professional shortage forever. And and now mental health issues have just skyrocketed in the last 2 years. So that's a major issue. And if companies don't think it's affecting them, they're just blind. They're closing their eyes to it, because there's just no way that it's not.
Every time that if you're a company owner, if you're a manager, whatever, and you know, some of the comments that you've seen, Lou, over the time, you know, like, just take a couple of cement powder. Hey, I was one of those people once upon a time.
Yeah.
Just stop and think back, and think when you had a really good boss that was proactive, a true leader, led from the front, was there in the trenches with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then think back to a bad person that you had, and just think about your production, how productive you were personally, how productive your crews were, how productive your project was. You know, I've been to, you know, I've worked on construction pipeline projects. They were just run by the loonies were running the loony bin. That's literally, and the jobs reflected that. So of course your work ethic reflected that, you know, and everything became a problem. There was a problem for every solution on those jobs. You know what I mean? It's just, it's how they are. So just think about that. When you think that there's no problem and I don't have an issue, okay, maybe you don't, but have you stopped to think about, or at least put a questionnaire out there?
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Not so much. Yeah, that's like, it's always people that say that stuff to me. It's the people who I get the most honest feedback are on jobs. They're on the job sites. You know, they give me the most honest, most genuine, most eye-opening input on the issue. The people who are never on job sites and they sit in an office all day and they want to sit there and say, I just don't think it's an issue for us. I don't buy, like, it's hard for me to not just laugh in their face.
Yeah.
To be honest.
The statistics prove otherwise. I mean,
yeah.
You know me, I'm a guy that follows
companies
numbers.
I've met with, that I know employees who work for that company are telling me one thing, and then the people in the office are telling me a different thing. Yep. That's as big a sign as I need.
Exactly right. Well, if, again, like you've said many times before, if it's working, why isn't it working?
Why isn't it working? Yeah.
But all of that is trying to fix it once it's broken. Once it's as low as it can be, and you're at your lowest points and all of that. What you're trying to do, Lou, is trying to fix it. Exactly what we do with the you know,
preventative
side and the equipment and preventative. maintenance
Mhm.
and putting all the procedures and things in place to execute on your job and to succeed.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do with the people and the work crews and the brains and all of that. Like
Yes.
it goes hand in hand.
And at the end of the day too, I am also just one person, and I'm not saying that my services are going to solve all these problems, but they're actual services there that can be easily accessed. The more I dig, the more I find what the approaches they're taking, and they'll try to just, oh, well, that's a safety person, they can deal with that. Or, we'll to put one of our safety people on this, or they try to cut corners, and they don't realize how detrimental that
Yeah,
is, because they don't. I get it. It costs money and things like that, but it's a small amount of money for the return that you get in
yeah,
investing in that sort of thing. And it's just, yeah, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch, and sometimes it's kind of insulting sometimes when you talk to these people, and it's like, oh, well, we can get somebody within to do that.
yeah.
But
But
it's never anybody who knows what they're doing. I've heard people say this has to be not just suicide prevention, but we got to do something before that. But when you ask them what that is, how are you going to do that? What's your plan to do that? They have no idea. So you can
no,
talk about that stuff all you want, but if you don't know what you're doing, what's the point of doing it? But
yeah.
that's
The whole point you said there before, you're just one person. But
yeah.
what the services that you're offering is you're offering your knowledge and
Hmm.
education to train, not a safety. Okay, if it's a safety person, that's great, whatever. It's to train the people, the crews, on how to communicate, how to talk to people, how to understand
Yeah.
different people.
Yeah.
Your purpose out there, your everything that you're about and being is to give them the knowledge to go out and
Yes.
prosper. It's
Yeah.
not to come
It's
to
not
me and I'm
therapy.
the
It's
only
not.
one that can help
Yeah.
you and there's no one else that can help you. It's got nothing to do with that. It's
No,
about
it's a trickle
spreading.
down effect.
Exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
And that's what preventative is. It's the same as when I go to a project to help people. I'm not there to fix the machine. I can go and fix the machine. I've got no issues fixing anything anywhere.
Yeah.
It's about training the people on how to fix that machine. It's
Yes.
about training the people in the office to change the way that they're trying to build their project with 6,000 machines instead of 2,000 machines. Like
Yeah.
this is it's a mental change across the board. But yes, you're one person, but the services that you offer are to change, bring people and get them into understanding what prevention is and
Yeah.
how to communicate and how
Yeah.
to see the signs of something going wrong and all these kinds of things. So yes, on one side you offer the services, the one-on-one consulting for people that are having difficulties on a job site or having difficulties understanding. That's one side of the equation, and that's really to get directly to the people that need the help.
Hmm.
The most. That's number
But the
one.
broader side is.
Correct. That's the
Hmm.
back end side of it, is to train, pass the knowledge on, so it never gets to that point
Yeah.
So that's what we keep talking about when we say solutions. It's
Yeah.
always got to be solutions based.